Dad, I don't want to go.
It's your first day of primary school, Juliet. It's gonna be great. I'm sure you will make plenty of friends in no time. And the teacher knows that you are new. She will take care that you blend into it. You aren't a baby anymore. You're gonna do just fine.
Yes, but everyone already knows each other. They all have friends except me. How did you do it?
You know, when I was kid, it was a little more complicated. Since I was born, I've always been slower than others to adapt myself. Having friends, moving around like everyone else wasn't an easy task because I often needed help, but I managed to do it by talking to my friends. If I made it, there is no reason you wouldn't.
I guess you're right, but I can't help myself.
You know, at your age, I had to go to my new school too, get to know other children and work with a new teacher. I remember my classroom was very noisy, quiet, big, and very intimidating at first. It was not always easy, of course, but step by step, you get used to it.
Alright.
I get that is scary you. Me too, I was afraid. Then find me different. I could hear some whispering from children. I think some didn't dare to come to me. And then finally I found my little group of friends, and it was easier. At 7 years old, kids are pretty open minded. It's easier to make friends. I'm sure they welcome you. After a few games and few law, you quickly become friends.
But you were able to play all kind of game with them?
Sometimes I was, sometimes I wasn't. I had a lot of help from the teacher and my friends. I couldn't do much running around or play football or even tag like you do. There was too much chaos and shooting. I wasn't very at ease at that time.
What were you playing at then?
I was chatting with my friend on the bench, telling each other our life, and then when I was interested in a game, my friend would guide me and tell me what to do. With a little bit of inventiveness, you can often come up with a solution. And besides that, there's always this one game where you are better than the other, when you can show your full potential.
Oh yes, like the I always beat you. Here we are, Daddy. We reached the school.
You gonna be alright?
Yes, don't worry. You will be proud of me.
That, my girl. I'm sure you will have plenty of friends in no time.
But you, Daddy, are you gonna be okay to go home by yourself?
Of course, don't worry for me. My little friend is here to guide me. Up, up, up. Time to go now. Have a good day, my little angel.
Love you, Dad.
Love you too.
I think that all humans play because we have to.
Children are hungry for play. They need to play to become fully adult.
If we can play together, then we can live together.
Play is the expression of your imagination. It gives you free reins to your desire, your dreams to create your own story.
Play is as essential as food, air, sleep, whatever else we have to do to stay alive.
Castleman is one of our main inspiration in terms of game vision. As she said, if we can play together, we can live together. This quote reflects our intention for this project. Our game should give to children free range to create what they want, to let their imagination run free, and in the meantime, they should work together to achieve the goal of the toy. On the subject of blind children, the expert we interviewed told us the difference between inclusion and integration. Given that we really want to make a game of equality and not equity, which will be a form of passive discrimination, we have chosen to work on inclusive game. Alongside with that, a good game must be adapted to kids' abilities, at the same time as being just the right amount of challenging. Whenever there is too much of one, the child can be either bored or frustrated. A good game stimulates their imaginations to allow kids to write their own story.
Nowadays, there is too few of blind-friendly toys. Some well-known brand offers adapted games such as Uno or Lego, but it's less interesting for kids than the original game, and it's specialized toys label, which is not helping their integration. Therefore, parents must build or modify toys themselves. On internet, there are private communities dedicated to DI for blind children. But again, most of those games are only attractive to blind kids and set a gap with their peers. If it's already complicated at home, a safe place for them. How it is at school? How do they manage to fit in the game? Since day one of school, the child must be constantly concentrated to memorize the layout, to find his way, to understand the new sounds. Once at recess, the child can be in difficulty to find his place in the middle of the chaos. He cannot go to other to make friends. This moment of let of steam quickly become a nightmare. During the quiet times, the child did a little more. It's easier to make friends, but what game to play?
Our analysis leads us to this question: how to encourage the development and the social integration of a blind children from 7 to 10 years old through play at school during the recess. The final tool should focus on inclusion and equality to avoid all kinds of discrimination, so the blind child could have a real victory against his friends. It should also awake the autonomy of the children by reducing the area needed, so the kid won't be lost. We work on 3 different moments. The first one is letting off the steam through physical activities during the short break. Second one is a more static and calm game for the after lunchtime to enhance the imagination of kids together. And the last one is about finding his place in the group and learn the difference and similarities between blind and sighted children. So let's dive together in a process to find the right solution for those incredible children.
From there, we were able to exchange around 8 concepts with our users and specialists. We had the chance to interview 4 blind persons from 7 to 46 years old with their relatives, Maël, Colombe, Clément and Bertrand. We also interviewed 3 specialists, Pauline, Aliénor and Caroline. Along with that, we conducted a survey to have more feedback from parents and sighted children. We gathered 129 answers over the last weeks. Now let's dig deeper in those 8 concepts. Our first concept is Bubble Life, a real-scale construction game to co-create and interact in a safe place. Provided with monochrome and texture slabs, the sighted children are invited to touch and feel the difference between them. The second idea from this axis is Icebreaker. Here the kids are playing together with cards in braille, letters, and 2D.5 images. The aim is to guess the passion of each kid and discover that between a sighted and blind children, there are more similarities than we would think. This game could encourage to ask questions to the blind kids, and doing so, understand better blindness in our early years. Here are some of the feedbacks we got from those two ideas. People shown a real interest for them, but had doubts about the appeal or durability.
It's now time to let off steam with the second axis, starting with good vibration. At first, it's just a regular foam wall, but when you plug it, it turns into a tag game where you have to catch with or against your friend the vibrations that are invading the surface of the wall. It's come up with different modes of game and display. With this idea, we wanted for children to be able to play with a different sense and sights, and let off steam in an organized chaos. If you have the soul of a clay modeler, this idea might suit you better. The creative elephant is an evaluative sculpture that responds to pressure and knocks. Also based on vibration, but it's time you are following the guide due to it on the right place to model an elephant, for example, or even a guitar. But you can also decide to follow your own instinct and build something abstract with your friends. Yet, if you are more into dance and music, the last one is the right for you. Orchestra is a game of motor skills, coordination, and rhythm. You and your friends are equipped with sensors that integrate by vibration and sound how to position your body. But be careful. Along with that, a device is playing some music and each of your moves are notes. If you hit in the beat, you will make wrong key. We receive a lot of positive comments on those three concepts. Regarding the possibility for blind children to let off steam with friends and win in an equal game. But mainly, for the two last ideas, some problems remain regarding the disability.
Our last axis is focused on storytelling and enhanced children's imagination. The first one is Plushy Story, a teddy that tells a narrative and acts as a master of the game. The children must solve the investigation together by asking questions. They can also interact with the teddy using accessories equipped with RFID chip. The cuddly toy would be powered by a cell phone or a tablet stuffed inside by the teacher. The next concept is My World. In this idea, one child is sharing to three others one memory. To do so, the leader has a mixing desk with which he can tune sounds, the touch, and the image of his wishes. But there is a twist. His friends will be assigned only one senses each. Our goal here is to understand how a blind child sees and understands elements in a poetic way. Our last concept is story hunt in the school. The teacher would have badges everywhere, each of them would play part of the narrative. Thus, children would need to find them by group to have the full story. To help the blind child, he would be equipped with a bracelet that buzzes when he gets close to the badges. This would allow him to know better the school. Those last three concepts were appreciated by our users who love good story and mystery. Yet some comments were about the real equality of those concepts, since sight is more featured than in the first ideas. With all of this data collected, it was now time to make a choice.
Here are the chosen one. Bubble life to your place, good vibration to let off steam, and the plushy story to have a nice and cozy after lunch prank. Let's hear more in depth what our users said about them.
Quand est-ce qu'ils font connaissance vraiment? C'est dans la cour de récré, c'est quand ils jouent ensemble, quand ils partagent plus qu'en classe, je dirais.
Contre être dedans et faire des activités sur les différents pans, ça c'est sympa.
Parce que moi j'ai envie de parler.
Moi je la trouve super chouette, mais je sais pas, je pense que Maël il pourrait très bien jouer avec ça, mais peut-être que c'est plus pour maternelle que pour primaire.
Bon, moi je trouve ça génial. À condition que le voyant n'ait pas un indice visuel qui fait que ça lui permettrait d'aller plus vite. Hein.
Vu qu'il vous dit ça, ça veut dire qu'il a envie, de toute façon, qui bouge, ça l'intéresse.
Qui n'ont pas de difficulté au niveau de la vue auront un avantage pour ça, mais en même temps, le toucher des enfants qui sont en situation de difficulté de la vue est tellement plus développé que eux ont aussi un avantage pour ça. Donc finalement, ça équilibre un peu le. Non, mais c'est hyper bien, mais ouais, voilà, Si ça existait, ce serait vraiment, ce serait trop bien, en fait.
Carrément, ouais. De pouvoir faire jouer les gamins en équipe, c'est super.
Il a vu, il n'y a qu'un boîtier qui te parle, alors que là, tu as carrément une peluche avec des objets et tout, quoi. C'est encore mieux. Tu as même du tactile en plus.
Tu vois, ça peut même être sur un, tu une famille qui part, en vacances, en train ou je sais pas, mais sur un trajet pour occuper les enfants et cetera, c'est vraiment, c'est vraiment chouette. Ça peut être joué avec les frères et sœurs, en famille. Je veux dire, ça peut être décliné dans plein de domaines en plus de celui qui vous intéresse.
Therefore, we were able to rework our concept taking in consideration the different feedbacks. It's time to unveil this last version. Bubble Life is now upgraded to a more organic shape to be more friendly to sighted persons. We also integrated the possibility for teachers to customize with their class some slab to really create their own space. Regarding the security, the holes in the structure are replaced by hollows, so the blind child can no longer miss the wall. Now let's see where it would fit in the school.
It's the first day of school. There is a new element in the playground. Madame Harrison explains that the children can customize some slab during the art class to create an environment they like. Juliet wants to put this sticky texture, but her blind friend Susan does not fancy it. To help Susan to understand the new layout, the teacher gave her a scaled model to preview how is the bubble. It's now time to try out this new playground. Susan can go there by herself thanks to a texture path. The two friends and the rest of the class hang the slabs and go around touching the work of the other group. When they are done with the texture and the minigame on the wall on the bubble, the two girls go at the back of the structure to chat and tell each other stories. The two friends are happy of the new shed. Susan feels secure in this environment that she built with her classmate. They have learned to agree and work together. She also feels more independent because she can go meet her friends directly in this special place where they can create stories. The day goes by and it's time for a more calm moment full of mystery.
Plushy story is now without screen, so the kids rely only on the story they are being told. Each child will be assigned a role in the story with special accessories to make sure that everyone interacts with the teddy bear. For example, the sheriff will be the only one to have the handcuff to finish the investigation. Without further saying, let's go back to Suzanne and Juliet. The two girls just finished their meal. It's now story time! The teacher set the investigation on the tablet and put it inside the teddy bear. While doing so, Susan, Fred and Juliet take their role accessories. And finally, it starts. The teddy bear tells them that the jewels of the queen have been robbed and he needs their help to find the thief. The children are listening carefully to what the teddy is saying. Any sound can be a clue. They can also touch the evidence to get other hints. After a series of exchanges and questions, the children overcome the enigma. It's Vladimir, the teddy bear, congrats the children for their good team spirit. But the bell rings. It's now time to go back to the class. Then Fred and Juliet are still in their role. The bond between them is stronger now they work together and caught the thief. Juliet and Fred are impressed by the capability of Susan to hear details in the story. They should pay more attention to the sound around them. Our little girls are well rested, but it's now time to let off steam.
Good vibration is now based on vibration and sound, so the children receive more feedback when they are playing. We also want to create a fantastic world to add storytelling and enhance the imagination. The mathematics lesson is finished. The kids are impatient to let off steam outside. Juliet and Susan go together to cover the playground to play their favorite game. Good vibration. In no time, the game starts. They choose to play a 1 versus 1 in the game mode Haunted Castle. They have to catch as many ghosts as they can to beat the other one. But beware, some ghosts are too powerful to be fight alone. Therefore, they need to collaborate to overcome this assault. The other kids watch the game and make bets on who might win. After a few minutes of play, the music of Susan's faction can be heard, which means that she has a higher score than the friends. A few more seconds and it's good. She has won this game. Susan is super happy that she has won. Even if she is exhausted of jumping around, she is overjoyed to have won against a side friend. The vibrating wall allows her to do sports activity in an environment where she is in control. What a nice happy ending. So, what concept are we going to develop?
We choose good vibration. It receives more positive feedback, it's our user favorite, and it's also the answer to a real problem at school for blind kids: how to let off steam and still feel secure. In addition, the blind kid can beat his friend on equal terms and show his abilities. Besides that, the concept offers a large range of possibilities regarding the game mode, but always in a small area that the blind kid can manage. For the next step, we are planning to get in touch, for real this time, with our user to try out the vibration system. We are also in contact with Tatiana Villela, teacher in alternative controller at Rubica. Regarding the partnership with Pickwick, it's still at a standstill. We hope that we will be able to reach them now that the confinement is over. We hope you enjoyed this presentation, and see you in RP3.